Relocation can have a strain on your marriage, and that is why I am doing this video, because over the years I've had to service some clients who have reached out to me from different parts of the world, most especially Nigerians who relocated, and so they find themselves right now going through some rough patch in their marriages. And so from there I am doing this video as a marriage checklist, quickly something that you should put in mind should you decide to relocate. Number one, you need to understand that when you relocate, there are some countries that make women to become more aware of their rights. I've had situations where some husbands feel like because now they've relocated, the woman now seems to have more voice. She's able to stand up to him. She's able to demand this. What she couldn't do at home, now she's doing there. Now, the fact is that that is the reality. She has gotten to a country where she has realized that, look, she cannot be silenced. So maybe back home, you were silencing her. She wants to tell you this is how she feels about an issue. But before she says Jack Robinson, you've already shut her down. So now she's in a country that makes her to know her rights, and so makes her to also know that they can fight for her should there be an abuse. So what you see as her being rebellious is her realizing that, no, I have actually been accommodating abuse all this while, but now I want to resist it. So you must understand that it comes with the terrain. So therefore, right now, if you are still in Nigeria, fix that aspect of your marriage. If you are the kind of husband that shuts down your wife every single time she wants to talk to you about something, just because you are not in that mood or state of mind to listen to anything, you shut her down. Start working on it, because you see, the country you are relocating to, constantly shutting her down is only going to make her to resist you and to, in quote, rebel. The second thing you must put in mind is that the therapy system there is quite different from here. And here's what I mean. You know, a lady reached out to me from Europe, and this was last year. And so when she reached out to me, she shared, first of all, she shared with me her experience with a particular therapist that she went to who was white. Okay, so she went to tell this therapist what she was going through in their marriage. And she said the next thing the therapist said is, what are you still doing in the marriage? In fact, let's call the cops. You need to leave the marriage. You need to this. And at that moment, she just said, it's not that deep. She said she didn't even know when it came out of her. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. Like, I still want my marriage. Like, you're taking this thing too far. So it was from there that she went online searching for couple therapists in Nigeria, and she found me, and we had a conversation. Now, let me shock you. She still had to leave that marriage, because what she didn't know is that what she was normalizing was actually not normal there. That's what she didn't understand. So the therapist was speaking from a place of, this is not normal. This is not what you should be okay with. This is not okay. And trust me, the situation is not something she should be okay with. So when we had the conversation, those were things that came out, because there are things that, based on the peculiarity of our situation here, we normalize. Now that she's there, she realized that, look, this is not supposed to be normal. So she had to still leave the marriage. So you need to understand that the therapy system there, the system there is different from here. So what you might see as normal is not normal there. Then another thing you must put in mind is to focus on your goals. Hey, don't let anybody's stories pressure you. Yes, some people get to wherever they are relocating to, and they pick up immediately, things begin to work for them. And there are some people that it takes a while. The bottom line is focus on your goals. Focus on the why of your being there. Don't allow the success or the failures of people to distract you. Let the success stories of the people there inspire you instead. Realize that, look, we are here. It might feel like we are starting afresh. It might feel like we are having to go through a lot of, changes here and there, adjustments here and there, but it's only for a while. A while might be 2 years, a while might be 5 years, but focus on your goals. You must clearly define it. And that is why I have an issue with couples who just say they want to relocate just for relocating sake. You don't have a plan, you don't have a strategy, you don't have a goal, nothing. You just want to relocate. That when we get there, we'll figure it out. It doesn't always work that way. From the people I've had sessions with, it doesn't always work that way. Have your goals, set it now, know what you want to do when you get there, have it all figured out. Yes, have it all figured out to the teeth. There were some people that I just watched some of their videos, people that relocated, and they talked about their plan. They talked about, in fact, there was one lady that she used 2 years to prepare. She and her husband used 2 years to prepare for their relocation. They had gotten their visa, all of that, but they did not go immediately. So when they got there, it was like they hit the ground running. And so now they are well adjusted in a country that they relocated to. So have your goals, clearly defined. Know exactly what you want to do in that country of your choice. Another thing that you must put in mind is that don't shut down everything here at home because you are relocating. That is another mistake some people make. Because let me tell you something, and there's a way the mind works. If your mind knows that, look, I still have something at home, no matter the challenges, the pressure, whatever that is happening to you in the country that you find yourself, there's this ease that still comes on you when you realize that, okay, at least I have something back home that I can fall back on. I have something at home that is still moving. I have something at home. You don't need to, if I mean you have properties, you don't need to sell all your houses, your lands, your cars, your properties because you are relocating. No, you don't need to do that. If there's a way you can still raise funds without having to sell off all these things, it is advisable you don't. And why I'm saying this is because I've also seen couples, interacted with some couples that made sure they had something going here in Nigeria. I'm talking about Nigerians in diaspora. And guess what? They still went through their own peculiar challenges in the country they relocated to, but they also had this buffer, knowing fully well that they had something here, and it just helped them. It helped them to acclimatize. It helped them to build. It helped them to still have some loose funds that they can fall back on and all of that. This is very important. Don't shut down your life completely. I know that sometimes there's this pressure that comes with relocation, and you feel like, let me just shut down everything. I don't want to have anything in the country. I just want to move. It is not wise, so that you don't get there and feel like there is nothing left for you. Just should, in case you decide to jackpot, because there are people that have jackpot and they have jackpotted, and the reason they can jackpot is because they have something here. So don't shut down everything. These are just a few points that you can just put in mind should you decide to relocate with your family today as a couple. It is okay if you want to relocate, but do your due diligence so you don't get there and feel frustrated.